name is Sheldon Neely. I'm a councilman for the city of Flint. I represent the 6th Ward. Today we wanted to bring people to the Flint water drinking plant. As you can see behind, it says welcome to Flint water plant facilities. What we did today, we offered a tour for the residents so they can come and see their asset. This is an asset for the residents of the city of Flint that you pay for, where every time you pay a water bill, or even if you just drink water as you pass through the city of Flint, this is where the water is treated from the Flint River water. We have 2 sources of water inside of the city of Flint. We currently purchase our water from the city of Detroit, but we have the ability here in the city of Flint to drink the water from our river. And this is a tour today, and you're going to see how the water is processed, comes in from the Flint River, processed, cleaned, and then distributed. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope this is informative and educational for you, because this is your asset. Be a part of your city. Be a part of knowing that you own things in this community. Enjoy. You ask the residents of the city of Flint how many of them ever came out to the water plant while it's in full operations, it probably would be 100% of the answer would be no. So we want to make sure that people understand that this is the asset of the people. The people owns this as an asset. We want to make sure that we gave you guys a tour while the plant was up and operational. It happens 4 times a year, right? We have a lot of chemical treatments, and this is some of the chemical formulas they have to learn. Some of the treatment supervisors and others that's working on the water source has to be knowledgeable of. We're going to take the tour. Feel free to ask questions, but this is the asset of the people, and we have to really take a good look at how this thing operates and what we're going to be looking at in the future. People are complaining about the high rate of water and the cost of water, but people need to see the intimate side of what goes on the day-to-day operations here in the city of Flint. Now, there's going to be some of the things that's going to be on the table in the future. They're going to be talking about blending water from Detroit. That's one of the things they've been discussing. And people have this perception of Flint River water as being this awful source of water. It's not awful, because you can drink it. It can be used for human consumption, for drinking and bathing alike, and this water is safe. And we want to dispel some of those myths about water being unsafe. Also, we want to make sure that we look at this as they talk about maybe a Kiridandi water line coming from Port Huron, bringing a raw water source into the community, and then the water would have to somewhere would have to be treated here. And so we want to make sure we educate you guys about that. So we want to go ahead and start the tour. I think pretty much everybody's here today is going to come, but then we're going to have more people tomorrow. Feel free to call your friends and some family members to tell them about the tour. It's going to be here tomorrow at 1 o'clock. The plan is only to be operational from, it was started the 8th through the 15th, right? This is an opportunity for all the residents to see our treatment facility. And thank you guys for joining us and taking the tour with us.
goes down, I have 3 other pumps. They're all rated different. The one pump at the end is 15 gallons a day. It's rated as the pump. The next one I believe is a 20. This is a 20, that's a 25, and this is a 30. You can run more than one pump. I have to do a combination of pumps. We can actually run more than one pump. I have a combination. So, 15, 30, 20, 25 here.
These are not the pumps that's actually pushing the water through the system.
No, these pumps here are pushing water into the plant.
Okay.
These are called low service pumps.
These are the intake pumps?
No, those are intake pumps. These are high service. These are to take the water from the plant to the city.
Another part of the facility that we're going in now, we just came from the pumping area, looking at the pumps that pushes water out to the residents of the city of Flint, and also take it in and pushes it back through the whole system.
Ozone generator, what to do. You mix oxygen and electricity and it creates ozone.
Ozone is oxygen. We breathe the air, it's O2. Well, what they do here is they actually add energy to O2 and they make O3. So O3, when they bubble the O3 through this water, the O3 goes to O2 and 1O. This 1O is excited. It wants to go and oxidize something. So it grabs a hold of those biobugs and it disrupts the exterior membrane, the cell wall, so that it can no longer survive and reproduce. So it's the 1-2 punch. You got the chlorine, you got the ozone, and that's an attack on biobugs. So it's an advanced treatment system that Flint has in this plant, right here in Flint.
So the people who services these ozone chambers, they all work for the city of Flint.
Well, not necessarily. We have a maintenance contract with a company in New Jersey, okay, because that's basically where most of your ozone companies are. Okay, it's hard to get anybody that really knows and understands ozone. There's only 5 plants in Michigan that utilize ozone at this point, and that's I think I want to say there's only maybe 3 plants back in 2006. Okay, so that's getting to be more the standard, especially with river water.
We're off to another portion of the water treatment facility. We just learned a lot about the ozone and how they treat the water for contaminants and how they clean our system up. So that was very informative. I'm glad that we know how they clean the Flint River water up so it can be used for consumption by everybody in Flint. That means it's hot water and pipes that heats this whole facility. Right now it's very warm in here. In these blue containers, these are chemicals of some sort. What kind of chemicals are
This is a sodium bisulfite solution. What that does is after we add ozone to the water, sometimes there's a little bit left, we add excess. So we add this chemical to take out the excess so it doesn't affect the rest of our treatment process.
So this is another process of removing some of the chemicals after they inject this to clean up any contaminant they may have in the water.
Yeah, what happens is we have extra ozone. We had ozone in this building. If we have extra when it goes into the next stage of the process, it'll cause us to use more of that chemical. So we need to take out any excess that we add before we send it to the next step of the process.
And it's quite a lot of it.
Yeah, we always have to have at least 30 days of chemical on storage just in case.
my left, these are the old treatment facility buildings right here. As you can see, they're not functional anymore. They've been out of service for quite some time. You can see the time has worn on the buildings, and they also have been victim to scrappers as well. There used to be enough scrap metal in this building to pay for the whole demolition of it, but it's been vandalized, much like most parts of our city. And take a look at it, but structurally the building looks great, but it has been also victims to scrappers as well. This is the new facility here. Over the last few years, more than $50 million has been put into the revamping of this to make it a state-of-the-art building. We have our above tower here to make sure that we have enough pressure to push through the system. This is a state-of-the-art building now. This is one of our reservoirs.
This is the rising well coming from the ozone. It's actually gravity fed from the ozone underground. I think it's a 54-inch line. As I walk that building to this building.
You say this is 28 feet deep?
That's about 28 feet deep. It's called a rising well. The water rises and then goes down to chambers. Those chambers are a little bit higher.
So is this water been treated already?
Yes, this is what water. This is the first place it comes to. So we're here in this chamber. The water makes them attract to each other, make them bigger.
Right.
And then the next process after we do that goes to a plate cellar building. And that's where those coagulants settle out, brings the water up. This is the next step in the process. At this point right here, we add ferric chloride to it. Alright. This is iron. It's a coagulant. It helps particles stick together. And then the next step, this is rapid mix. I'll take the slow mixer. That's why I can see it. The water will be a little brown here.
Brown mixture in a square tank.
And you can see that's what ferric chloride looks like. You see the drips on the floor there. This is where we test it to see what our feed rate is.
So that dissipates in the water, or this dissolves, or
It actually coagulates, and then settles out. Settles to the bottom, and at that point we suck it out. Open a switch off. This is for a gate to shut this off. I can shut this side off and use that side. You know, everything we talk about redundancy. We have an east side and west side. Right now we're running the west side of the plant. Last time we ran the plant, we ran the east side. Switch back. It's got holes in it that push the water out. Now all this water here, from this bank all the way down, this water's moving this way through chambers. Some are high, the next chamber would be low. It's just it helps the water keep it mixing. These bank of mixers, this is running at a high speed. The next bank of mixers runs at a lower speed, and it's the next bank running at a lower speed. What we're trying to do is get that ferric all mixed up into that water, but you don't want to get. That's why you go to the lower speed, because you don't want to break it up.
as we look at the water, you know, it doesn't look very clean.
It doesn't look very white.
Not at all. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't have any stench or anything.
No, because at this point you've already hit it with ozone. You take the taste and odor out of it. The next room you'll even see a more dramatic difference. Change. You'll see it's going to look nasty at one point.
Right.
When you see it come over into the weirs, all the settling has already happened. You see it come into these weirs. Water's crystal clear.
Is the weirs where you filter the water for the color, or what? How do you get it back to a clear color? tastes a little bit different, but it's good. It's not bad water. It tastes fresh, actually. So I guess it's a pure source because this is before it goes through 20 miles of pipeline before it gets to my house. So I guess I got it at the source rather than at the tail.
Right. If this was fully operational, how many jobs would this provide?
Yeah, right now we've got probably about 20 people working. I'd have to say somewhere between 30 and 40 total jobs.
Here's after it's been hit with ozone, it's the river water. After it's hit with ozone. And here you can see where we've added our ferric chloride, giving it the orange color. As we talked before, we make the water look worse before we make it better. And then here was our filtered water that you all sampled there down in the basement.
Now, do we test the Detroit water as it comes in?
We do. We are required to test that too. So we actually test the water out where we first take control of the pipeline in Davison and make a trip out there every day to get a sample. And then we also are required to sample our distribution system through the state, at least 100 samples a month for bacteria.
So when the water comes in from Detroit, it doesn't come through this facility, but where is it?
It actually comes in the backside of our property over here, and the water flowing through that tap right now is City of Detroit water. So we're able to sample from here, but we're also required by the Safe Drinking Water Act to sample out the city.
So we buy water from Detroit, put it through the system, we put it back into the sewage system, it's discharged back into the Flint River.
Yes, yeah.
So we have an intake of water into our river source, not only from natural sources.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So now one nice thing about the wastewater plant is they're regulated to take out most of the stuff. So there's only so much more stuff they can add as a byproduct of what we put into drinking water and everything.
So if we had to use the Flint River water from its natural sources, if we didn't have that discharge from the Detroit water system, how would that level be up to enough to continue to, supply every resident?
Yeah, it's a tough debate. I've heard data going both ways. I don't see why we couldn't do it. We did it in the past. But I haven't seen all the data. I haven't conducted those studies, so
okay.
Who has that information? Can't say officially. Most of the information that I hear from has come from Genesee County and their Carigani Water Authority. That's who you'll get information from.
But has there been an independent study or source?
Oh, well, yeah, I should say, I'm sure it's an independent engineering company that gets the job, but...
But I want to thank the guys,
Sheldon, we thank you. This has been a great.
Tell us how you felt about the tour today.
Well, I think it was a great tour. Yeah, a great tour. Very interesting. I think that's something we should have been doing, for years.
Right.
We should have been bringing our children through this so they can be exposed to this. I mean, this is a great asset to the city. I mean, we own this. This is like gold. We're sitting right on it and don't realize what we have. We could be making money off this plant ourselves. We could be selling selling water to other people. I think it's a great idea. I think we need to push it. We need to get behind it. We need to let the city residents of the city know about this and to let them know. Because, people when they talk about water from the Flint River and stuff like that, they don't have the idea that we got two different plants, a water plant and a waste plant. And they go in two different separate places, And so we need to get on this. I'd much rather be getting water from here than building a pipeline and somebody else controlling it.
Right.
That way somebody control you. Somebody control your own water. You control your own destiny. Having your own water. I think it's a great idea.
Where can we find your church?
On a Welton Martin Luther King, Mount Tabor Missionary Baptist Church. All right, come anytime.
Thank you.
All right, God bless you. Good to see you.
All right.
All right.
I hope you enjoyed the tour today. I hope it was educational and informative. Be more educated about the assets that you own inside the city of Flint. This is your water plant. Weigh in on the whole debate about what should happen with our water. The rates are too high now. We all know that. But we have options. And this is one of the options. Can we drink our own Flint River water at a reduced cost? Or should we continue to buy more water from other places? It's up to you. Weigh in on the debate. Once again, I'm Sheldon Miller. Thank you, and God bless.